Hello, hello, hello. Oh, that was weird. So, today we are, I don't know if you heard that. Alright, so today we are doing a new map. I am feeling a certain type of way today, and so that's what we're gonna go with that feeling. So say hello to everyone. Make sure that the text box is working. I don't think it is. That's fine. Okay, there it goes. So, oh, we've already got kittens. Hello. So we are trying something new today, cool and new, and stuff that, you know, I am feeling a certain type of way about. So, basically, what I would like to do, in theory, is to make this Glade map, and I don't, technically I have already made this map. Excuse me. Technically I've already made this map, but I made it in a different program, and I, excuse me. I don't hate it. I guess we'll start with that. I don't hate it, but I do want it to look different. So what we're gonna do is basically recreate this map that I made in DungeonDraft, because originally I made it in Arkenforge, and again, it's not that I hate it, but it's not my fave. So I think I did it in 16.9, so that should be easy enough. And I'm gonna make sure that all the assets we want in here. So again, we're using all Forgotten Adventures, because Forgotten Adventures is the Bay, and that's just how we're living our lives. So you'll notice that I do have a significant amount of stuff that is not Forgotten Adventures, and I could technically use it. I pay for it all. But Forgotten Adventures is kind of just like my fave. I could also use Tom Kartos. Oh my goodness. It is like 2:30. I don't know why all of a sudden I've been fine all day long, and then as soon as I hop on here, my brain's just like, we should nap. Like, no, we got stuff to do. So I do have some Tom Kartos stuff, and I pay for that as well, and I could technically use it, but you know, he has like some weird rules on his stuff, and I don't want to make it and then use it and then not be able to use it as a later date. So mostly I use, excuse me, his stuff for display purposes, and less for like actual builds, you know, or usable builds, I guess it would be a better term for it. So let's see, just trying to make sure everything is good. Waiting for this to load, and it usually does take a couple tries the first time, like for DungeonDraft at least. The best, I guess, like way I can describe it is that the assets that I use, because there's so many and there's, you know, a bunch of them, I essentially like, it takes a second for it to catch up to like what I'm doing. But I want to make sure you guys can see everything. Okay, cool, and we can make this a smidgen bigger. Oop, too big. Okay, alright, that's good. So, first thing we need to do is change this terrain up because that's just not going to do it for me. So, this is a forest glade. It is well, it has an abandoned building in it. But we still want it to be like beautiful and wonderful. So we're gonna do, I love this like super fucking vibrant grass. The only problem that I run into with it is that most of the things that I use are supposed to be like creepy and weird. So if I use the really pretty grass, then it doesn't quite look right. So I think we will have to put a little bit of dirty grass over the top of it, but we do have an overlay option because there's a forest floor one. We could do that. Oh, okay, that's fine. That might be a little too yellow, I think. Yeah, it's a little too yellow. We can adjust it though. I have this thing. Excuse me, I am so sorry. Forest for leaves, there's twigs, we did that. It needs to be, that works, yeah. A little funky, but thankfully we do have overlays, so I'm not super worried about that part. But it does need to be usable as a battle map. So we're gonna have to get a little creative in this one, because the thing about DungeonDraft that is less than cool is that you cannot actually layer brushes yet. I can do what I just did, which is replace parts of it. And if I made a new level, then I could do it that way. But then we run into the problem of I can only view 2 levels at a time, because you can only compare 2 levels at a time. So if I had, 3 levels of different brush overlays, then I can't see anything else I've built. I can literally just see 2 of the levels. So we're gonna get a little funky here, which is fine. I don't mind funky. But Forgotten Adventures knows this, and thankfully has created an overlay. I think it's actually in objects. Like I thought it would make sense if it was how am I doing? That's not how you spell things. It would make sense if it was oh, there it goes, overlay patches, ha ha ha, and you can change the color. That's why they're that weird red color, because like I can make them like brown if I wanted to, and there are ones that are like less, so it's not just like dirty. And they have a whole bunch, which is I'm thankful for. I appreciate that. Like, yes, so they recognize that they do need that is a problem that we have with DungeonDraft, that I don't know when it'll be fixed, if it'll be fixed, but the goal is that someday eventually it will be fixed, or that it will be a thing that we can do. So on that note though, we are going to have to do something a little funky with the trees, because the trees are going to be on the outside and there's going to be rocks kind of lining it, because again, this is a glade, so it's supposed to be sweet. Finally caught one while you're live. Yay, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I appreciate you. Normally I would be streaming on Wednesdays, but I kind of just decided to do this today because I need to get this map done. So here we are. But anywho, so for this, the overlay, like the second layer, is what we're gonna have to do the trees on. The building itself will be on this layer, and like the leaves and stuff will be on this layer, but the trees and the rocks, well, probably, actually the rocks could probably be on this layer as well, but I think the trees are gonna have to be on a separate layer, because if they're not, then I can't like change the opacity of them, which again is something that hopefully will be fixed. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're gonna go ahead and add that level, and we're literally, I'm just gonna call it trees because that's what we're doing. Thank you for attending though, Vagrant. I appreciate you. How is your day going? Okay, so for these, they do have like a tree option, and they have tree shadows, which is cool, but for this specifically, we're just gonna do trees. And I thought maybe pine trees, but I'm feeling the not that vibe. But we don't want it to be too close to the green. You do want it to not blend together. But again, it is going to be changed as far as opacity goes. So we'll see. So if we compare ground opacity to 100%, current level at, actually 35 is fine. Okay, that's fine. Then that kind of shows us, see, like that would blend in so hard. So we need to change the color just a little bit. Which again, not a huge problem. And actually this like red color would work. Or like the brown color. But we do want it to be like a smidgen more noticeable than that. So we could do, nope, too close. I just want to see. Okay, so the white actually would make it stand out more. I wonder if, okay, so black just looks like shadow at that point, which we do have that option as well. We could just do shadows. That is an option if we want it to be underneath. So let's try that first actually and see how it goes. So if we just do shadows, they're still pretty dark, but like I don't hate it. The old shadows are more like blotchy, I think, and the new shadows are more defined. Yeah, okay. New shadows are more defined. So I think we'll do those. So we want, composite wise, we want to be able to obviously know that it's a forest, right? But we also don't want it to be like just plain and square, right? Like the dynamic portion of creating maps means that you have to give the players a space in which they can work, but you also want to give them places to hide and places to move. And if you create something that's too streamlined and specific, then what you end up with is basically them feeling like they can't do stuff that they want to do, which is bad. We don't want that. So we'll put the, I'm gonna wait on this part over here because that's where the abandoned like mansion place is gonna go, or not mansion, but like cabin is gonna go right here. So I'm going to wait and do the shadows until I decide kind of how I want that to do. Because there's also going to be a fallen log over here. But they will come from this side and then kind of be around here. And they'll see it and then they can do whatever they want with it. So, and the encounter itself will happen essentially here, not so much in the house. Because it's just going to be a single level little square piece of thing. So let's go ahead and get that done. So for the floor, we're just gonna do dirty looking tiles. And then for the walls, I actually want it to be wood on the inside and not brick, but like stone on the outside. Not that stone. I want also. Why are we listening? What is this? What is this? Again with the silent night thing? Come on now. I don't want that. I don't know what Epidemicsound is doing with like making me listen to Silent Night all the time. Like I don't want to listen to Silent Night. That is not what I want. Is the opposite of what I want. Alright, what was I doing? So, I don't want plain, I don't want rock. I want a middle ground. That's plain stone, which I don't hate. So you could do that. That's actually closer to what I want. Okay, that'll work. Alright, so basically what we want to do is I want it to be pretty decent size. Maybe. No, not feeling it. Alright, let's try again. Not that one. I know we have other options. I know that it's in here because I've seen it and I've used it before. I just don't know where it is. So basically I want that. That'll work actually. Okay, I like that better. So basically we want it like this. Yeah, that's not bad. I would prefer something slightly more like rock wall-y, but I don't know if we're gonna get that. I know they used to have one. At some point we had it. But right now, actually that might be better. Right now, Forgotten Adventures is doing an overhaul of almost all of their assets. Okay, that's fine. We can do that one. Please pardon my dog, who is, for whatever reason, being super loud right now. Normally I like it to kind of hang off the edge. But I think for this, we're just going to have to go like that. So, again, it's not exactly what I want. I know that there's another one that I like better. If you've ever watched any of my actual videos, like the ones that were pre-recorded and stuff, you might wonder, or ask yourself, but Bethany, why are they at like 8 times sped up and sometimes choppy? Well, this is the reason, because I literally will sit here for hours and go back and forth about which wall we're gonna use. And that can be kind of annoying. So I try to, for the sake of everyone else, not do that. I just want to check. Because if it's in here and not the other one, then that's going to be super annoying. Okay, I don't think it is. That's fine. So on the inside, We're just gonna do basic walls. I don't think this actually is really gonna have any walls other than... Yeah, actually I don't think it's gonna have any walls. It's gonna be very studio apartment-y, except, you know, in the woods. So it's not gonna have any other doors, I don't think. Alright, not any other doors, any other walls. I do want it in the center, I think, but we want the door to actually be on the ground. So we're gonna put it right here in the center. Actually, we're gonna put the joints in the center, which is right here. And then we are gonna put a door on the ground, because why not? Maybe, if there is one. Oh no, do we not have separate doors? Oh, no, we do have one. Okay. I thought so. I was gonna say. I was like, no, I know we have them. Okay, so this would have been here, so we're gonna kind of just knock it out right there. And then we're gonna use the overlay and make it kind of dirty looking, because if it's been on the ground for a long time, it would be. I don't know why they don't have like the different colors, to be honest. Like, usually they're really good about having the like the colors, or like because they do 3 different types of wood variants, right? So they do the ashen one, which is this light color. Then they have like the let's be bigger. They have the dark one, and then they have the light one. And I prefer ashen, especially when it comes to like things that are outside. I think it makes more sense, because if it's old and weathered and it's been around like outside for a long time, there's no reason why it wouldn't look that way. Not too much. I just have to do 2 of them next to each other, I think. Which I guess is fine. Just gotta take off the snap here. So alright, there we go. No worries. It's just dirty then. So now we want to dirty up the inside of the house. And for this, it needs to be like dark brown, because we could do... Nope, that's blood. Don't like that. Okay, we got brown. We want it to be a dark, dark brown. So we'll do that. Okay. So we want it to be light, but big. So again, this place has been abandoned for a really long time. It's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be gross. Like, it's gotta have a, you know, a vibe to it. So, especially in the corners, if you've ever been somewhere that is abandoned and gross looking, then you'll know that the corners are usually the worst. And there's a reason for that, because that is where all of the dirt collects. Especially when you have, like, if you have animals of any kind, then you know this already, because that's how it works. Or whatever, like, the way airflow works is that it just gets smooshed into the side. And that's just how it be sometimes. So that's what we're gonna do, is kind of push some of this dirt in to the corners. Some are more dirty than others, and that's fine. But we also want to put a log that has fallen into this home. So that's really big, actually. I think that should be fine. Okay, so we want to put this on a second layer. Nope, we want this over the walls because it has fallen into the home and is leaning into the house. And with that, I'm going to go back to the first layer. And we're going to do... I know that there are like holes in the roof, so essentially what you would do is have a roof and then have the hole pieces put on it. And I think what we're actually going to do, we could put a roof on it. Again, the only problem with that is we kind of run into that weird place of like, I can't make it see-through, you know? So if we do it, then basically like, that's not what I meant to do. If we do it, it's gonna be on the trees layer. And it's basically gonna do one of these things, maybe, if it wants to work. That's funky. Oh, there it goes. Okay. That was weird. So in that aspect, then, yes, we can do it that way. So I'm fine with this. I think the only thing is it would be like that. And we need to make it smaller. Yeah. Maybe it wants to come on. What are you doing? Okay. That's weird. Don't know what's going on there. The roof thing is still relatively new. So for whatever reason, it took away my dirt and not the thing that I wanted it to take away, which is fine. Oops. Something also kind of annoying is it does this weird thing where it's, again, don't know why we're doing this, but it's going over the walls, which is not what we want, because that's not what we wanted to do. And whatever. So, I don't know what's going on here, but it shouldn't do that. So, we're just gonna have to figure it out, I guess. Of course it would be, like, really fucking weird as soon as I need it to, like, work. Again, I don't really know what to tell you. So, I did want to do a, like, puddles, like gross, dirty puddles. So, what are we doing? Oh, right, trees, duh. Since it all went backwards, which is cool, I guess. So what I did want to do is have, since there's like this log that has like fallen into the house. It's got branches. Are we on the wrong layer again? Okay, so that's why. Okay, hang on. Those of you who do like Photoshop or like drawing, you know, that kind of thing. Like, if you ever accidentally like do stuff on the wrong fucking layer, you will feel my fucking pain when you accidentally put something in the wrong place. Because it's literally the worst. Like when you do line work or something on the wrong layer. That's exactly what this feels like. There's no worse feeling than doing a bunch of fucking work and then realizing you're on the wrong layer. Like, it's literally the worst. Because then you have to decide, okay, do I redo it all or do I just leave it and hope that I don't need to change it later? And then you have to either be cool with it being the way that it is or not. And sometimes it just sucks. You're like, fuck. Okay, we want puddle there. And I want a puddle here. Okay, and then we're going to do the log. Oops. The log. Which again, we want to come in from the outside. So it's going above the walls. This is a really big log, I think, I feel. It'd be like that though, that's fine. Is our shadows are on, okay, so alright, so we want there is one that literally is this. It's just a matter of finding it. And I don't really feel like looking through all of these. So, this is something else you can do shadow-wise, is have more, like, thick, like, to make it thicker, branches sticking out and stuff like that. If that's something that you're into, which it is. So, kind of just have to line them up, I guess. It really just depends. It's more about like kind of what you like, and making them without the lines underneath makes them seem further away. Which again, it's fine. It's really up to personal preference. If that's like your style, then do that. You know. And some people feel. Rightly, that I put a significant amount more detail into these than I probably should. And they're not wrong. These as battle maps, honestly, are probably more cinematic than what they, like, could or should be. And it's again, personal preference. I like it this way, and I haven't heard any complaints from players about it looking too real, if that makes sense. Like, I haven't ever heard somebody be like, nope, that tree is too correct, don't like it, I think it's great that you put so much detail. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's what takes so long. Like, it's honestly the reason why these take forever. I say forever, it's really not that bad. Like, I could spend much more time, it could be much worse. So when it comes to, like, For anybody who saw the last video where I did the Topa Turtle build, the way that ended up looking was really fucking nice. And I will be posting it on my Instagram once the voting is over. I don't think I'm gonna win, which kind of sucks, but it'd be like that sometimes. So once the contest is over, then it'll be posted on the Topa Turtle Instagram, and I'll also post it on my own. And I think it actually was already posted and like tagged in it. So if you want to see how that looked, you can look up my Instagram. It's the Golden Wife. And I think if you like go to the part where it's shared, actually, I'll double check just to make sure that I'm not sending you somewhere for a reason. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so it is not in there. I mean, granted, you can obviously still go check it out if you want to, but it might be in the Topo Turtles story. I think that's where it is. Nope, it's gone now. Okay, never mind, I guess. Ignore me. But if you're interested, that's something that I will be posting eventually, and hopefully you all can see it and hang out and validate me and tell me it's beautiful, because I'm trying to not be sad. I put a significant amount of work into it, and then I felt kind of bad that like nobody liked it as much as I did, and I know that like in this you have to have like a thick skin and not just like be sad when things don't work out. But I was really excited about it. I did wing the shit out of it though. Like I made that shit up on the fucking fly. And it just be like that sometimes. Alright, adding rocks. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. We want a couple rocks in here to be pretty large, actually. And we want them to go underneath everything. So, again, trying to not, like, super force your players to have a place that they, like, have to go. Honestly, this is more of a, like, if it's an atmosphere thing. Like, this particular area, is supposed to be like protected. And so if there's wolves, if there's ghosts, you know, if there's stuff, baddies in here, you want, did you just sneeze? Bless you. You want there to be a reason why it's like the way that it is. And part of that, at least for me in this particular build, is because it's protected on most sides by some rocks and trees, or it was until, you know, whatever happened. And so when they come upon this building and they see that it's kind of already been ransacked, it's going to be up to the DMs if you want to put stuff in there or not. Obviously it's always up to the DMs, but you know, at that point it's like the point of it is that there was stuff here, it's gone now, you know, whatever you want to do, live your life, I guess. So we do want the area to be slightly rocky, so we're going to put some here, and we're going to put some in this area. And then put some over here. Okay. Then a couple in the house, because why not? Dirty homes. It's going to have rocks in it. So why not, right? Especially if a fucking tree fell on it, like. Okay. want some leaves and debris. So I actually don't know. Okay, so it is under leaves. And for those, again, really we just want it to be like enough that you're like, oh, this shit's been here for a fucking hot minute. It doesn't have to be a lot. Really, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't. And they can be of various states of decay, you know. And maybe, like, it's, you know, maybe this is the reason why they left, right? Like, whoever lived here, maybe they left because a tree fell on their home and they couldn't save it. So okay, and then again we kind of want a pile in the corner because of oops. And it's okay if it looks like a little bit too dark or a little too funky. Like, really, honestly, like, don't fucking worry about it. Like, nobody is gonna be like, this is unrealistic. Like, and if they do, first of all, fuck them. And second of all, like, you're playing a fantasy D&D game. And if somebody honestly is like, I don't like this, it's too real, then I'll be like, why are you... Or it's not real enough. Like, why are you playing this game? Like, I think, do we want a, that's too close to the house, I feel. Maybe, like, over here. Yeah, like right there's fine. Okay. Maybe somebody died in the house and they just didn't want to live there anymore. That could work, because we do have a ghost that's supposed to be attending at some point in the future. So it makes sense that you would have a ghost here. If there's a pile of cool rocks. I know we do have gravestone asset, or graveyard assets. Aha, look at that. So we could put a headstone in front of it. Maybe not a headstone. Okay, yeah, one of these little doodads. Hey, okay. Cool. So we've got creepy little thingy thing over here. That will work, and then we need... Ooh, I don't even... ruined furniture? I don't know if we have that. I know we have ruined beds. Okay, let's try... beds, and we'll see what it's called, because they tend to name things. Maybe it's broken. That would make sense. Double bed frame. Okay, so it's not actually labeled that it's broken, which is fine. Do this one though. So let's see. If we lived in this house, where would we want the bed to be? We want it to be like here-ish, roughly. Personally, I would put it over here because I have a thing about my back being to open spaces, so that works for me. We've got a gross yellow mattress, which is extra cool, you know, for that, I guess. I don't know why there would be... Probably not, honestly, because it would probably have been, you know, burrowed into by animals, especially if it's been here this long. So I don't think the mattress would be intact if it was here. Did I spell that wrong? Nope, I didn't. Okay. So it can be colored, but again, it's still, like, intact, which... I don't think would be the case. So maybe let's try maybe just like a blanket on the ground. Again, old, grody, nasty looking thing. Let's do like a gray, like a nasty gray color. And then we'll do a table. I believe there are tables that are on their sides. Maybe. Maybe not. Nope. Okay. Okay. Again, we've got the ruined beds. That's lame. Okay, let's see. So we've got hay bedding, which I don't want that. Roll phone leaves. There is a beds one, but I don't think that's bed rolls. And there's broken beds, but I thought there was like a destroyed or ruined. Maybe dungeon stuff? Potentially. Because I know they just released a bunch of new stuff, and that would be what I wouldn't know about, because it's like a couple weeks old, 2 weeks maybe, and I haven't actually had a chance to like look at them. We got puddles though. That actually works super well because we want that in here. I like the length of that, but I think it. There we go. Right in the center. Ta-da! And probably one like in the corner. You know, 'cause dirty stuff. Oh, that actually works out. Okay. Back to what I was doing. So that roofs, chimneys, room dividers, rugs and carpets. Again, don't think there's anything gross looking. Siege weapons, statue storage, structures, tents, tools, vehicles, wash tubs. That's something you're into. Writing? Oh, okay. That's okay. So writing replaced the library assets. Could put a bunch of books on the ground. Sure, why not? I bet we could do a shelf on its like that, except smaller, because so maybe like that, and then if we use wood planks, we can make it like table legs. And then it will look like it was knocked over. Look at us being innovative. How exciting. That will work. Dun, dun, dun. Now it looks like a table that got knocked over. Actually, I think there is one that doesn't have the lip on it. Yeah, that would make more sense. Let's do those. Let's do that instead. Maybe it wants to select them. Perhaps. Perhaps not. That's super annoying. Alright, well, guess it's that color now. Okay, so I think maybe a chair. There's this one. Make that neutral size. Okay, maybe like a little leg bone, like they got most of the guy out, but they couldn't get all of him out. Oh, there's music. Got me right in the as soon as I fucking said that. Okay. Needs to be a yellow lower leg bone. Just gonna put it like right there. Oh, it's so morbid. It's fine. And I mean, technically, if you think about it, like, the animals would have taken it away, but it's fine. I think I do want to put a bird's nest in here, though. Because, you know, why wouldn't there be a nest? Probably like here. Okay, and then we could have another, like, gross rattiness kind of over here somewhere, but I think it's fine. Okay, so I think the inside of the house is fine. I can't imagine that. Maybe a chest underneath the log. We'll do that. That way that can be their treasure. Like, dirty underneath the log. It's, like, really fucking hard to see, but it is under there. Hello. Probably that one. Okay. Maybe just a little bit smaller. Okay, so yeah, I think that'll do it. And then there probably was a well outside, because there would have been a well. Yeah, at its actual size though. Put the well over here, I think is fine. Again in a moment. It is computing. Oh, wait then. But yeah, I think this is pretty good, actually. I might call it here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do Do we like it as is? Do you think this is the final form with which it could take? We could maybe do some leaves in the shadows. But I think overall, I think this is fine. I could probably put like a little fire pit right out in the front. But I think we're gonna call it good. I think we're done with this one. I will patiently wait for this to back up and hope that it actually does and that I don't lose it. So, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Sorry this live was only like an hour long. As of right now, I stream every Wednesday. I aim for 11 o'clock my time, which is Germany, which is like very early, literally anyone else's time. But it's 3:30 right now, so whatever time it is for you, go back a little bit, and that's where we are. So, again, thanks for hanging out. Vagrant, thanks for attending. I'm glad you were able to finally catch one. I don't know if YouTube sends out, like, notifications. Maybe you have to have, like, the bell on or something. I don't really know how it works. But anyway, appreciate you for attending. Have a good rest of your day.